Okay, friends, we're doing something just a little bit different. I need to tell you a story about God. And this happened to me a couple weeks ago on this road we're about to hop on. So I guess we'll call it a drive with God. Let's take a drive with God. So like I mentioned, a few weeks ago I was traveling this road. I was traveling it from the other direction. I had left very early in the morning, was on my way to the airport, and kind of faced a decision, I guess, as far as the direction to go. And leaving my house, I can take a right or a left, and normally I would always go right. It's a back road. It's just easier. That's just the way I always go. And for some reason, something was telling me to go left. And I kind of brushed that aside and I went right. So as I'm driving down this road, and I'm going to pull over for a second. There's a car behind me, and I want to tell a little bit more of the story before we get to the spot we're going. So we've all had those little voices, right? Those little voices that say something we don't expect, and we can either listen or we can ignore. And I didn't think a big deal of it, and I'm going this way. This is the way I'm going. So as I traveled down this road, it's a windy road. It's pitch black. I mean, it's not even 5 a.m. yet. And I caught this little, shadow or little gleam of light, something you just catch out of the corner of your eye. And I knew it wasn't anything real, it's just like a reflection or something, but something told me to slow down. So I said, okay, I think God's telling me to slow down. So I maybe slowed down a hair. I really didn't feel like I was speeding. I didn't feel like I was going faster than the road allowed. I don't see very well at night. I try to avoid driving at night. So I felt like I was, going as slow as I should. So I kept on driving, and a short while later, I came around a corner, and there was a mouse in the road, right in the middle of my lane, sitting and looking at me. And that was pretty weird, because I've seen mice run across the road in the middle of the night in the desert, and they're like deer. They just run for it. They don't look right or left. They don't do anything. They just run. And so to have this little mouse in the middle of my lane just sitting there looking at me, I thought, okay, God is telling me to slow down. So again, I felt like, okay, I'll slow down a bit. I didn't slow down a lot. It seemed kind of ridiculous to slow down a lot. But I slowed down some. Well, and probably not enough. If we're being honest, I probably didn't slow down that much. So I drive probably another mile and a half. And as I'm driving, again, a few more corners, things like that, no big deal. All of a sudden, an owl flies down to land in the road, in my lane, right as I get there. So this was shocking for a few reasons, because why in the world is this owl flying down to the road? There's nothing in the road. There's no prey for it to get. I just saw a mouse a little while back. I knew what that looked like. There was nothing for this owl. He literally flew down right in front of my car. And I tried to slow down. I tried to swerve, but there was no way to avoid hitting this owl. I felt terrible. So I hit the owl with the left-hand corner of my car, and I just felt horrendous. I didn't know what to do. So I went just a hair further ahead. I pulled off to the side. I thought, I need to go check on this owl. So I got out of my car and ran back, which was stupid because it's pitch black. I thought to myself, I can't see this owl. But I thought if it's injured, if it's, I need to get it out of the road so no one else will hit it. So I run down the lane here, and I can hear the owl. I can hear it flapping. And I can hear it off to the side, like this right-hand side. I can hear it off to the side in the of the road. So I thought, okay, it's off the road. Awesome. And then I saw some headlights coming. So I thought, okay, get back to the car. Get out of the road. Get back to the car. It's pitch black. People can't see you. So I ran back to the car and kind of stood off to the side of the car before sorry, we're coming up to it here, so I'm gonna pull over to the side again, and maybe not too far because the road's a little weird. Okay, so okay, sorry guys, I'm not a great multitasker. So anyway, I heard that the owl was alive. I heard that it was off on the shoulder. So I got back to my car. I turned it around. So we're pointing the same direction I am now. And I thought, okay, I can get it with the headlights. I can see what's really going on here. And I pulled over to the side. I could see it in my headlights. And it was kind of walking like, like it was injured, but it had like a broken wing. So it was kind of like its right wing was back and off to the side, and it was kind of dragging it. And I thought, oh my goodness, this poor owl. But at the same time, this weird thought popped in my head. The way this owl was moving reminded me of this bird back in Minnesota. It's called a killdeer, and it lays its nest. It's kind of a ground bird. It lays its nest on the ground, and if you happen to get close to the nest or its baby, sorry, my phone got too hot. We had to start over. So if you happen to get too close to this bird's nest or its babies, one of the parents will put on a big show. Just like that. They drag their wing and they act like they're injured, like they're easy prey, like you should, if you're a predator, you should come after them. And it draws you away from the nest. So that just it struck me as odd. But, okay, here's the owl. He's injured. He's kind of moving too fast where I know if I get out, I won't be able to catch him. And then I'm thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with this bird if I do catch it? It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm supposed to be headed to the airport. All kinds of thoughts going through my head. So I thought, okay, I'm going to call 911 and see if Animal Services will be able to come and try to rescue the bird. So I'm on the phone with them. I explained to them where I'm at. They've got my GPS coordinates. The lady was gonna, oh my gosh, there's something running across the road right now. I don't know what that was. Lady was gonna contact Animal Services and see if someone could come try to rescue the owl. So, I got off the phone with her, and in the meantime, this owl had been kind of climbing up this little embankment. Just little by little, it'd been kind of hopping up. And I had told the lady that, and she said, well, if it's climbing away, we're not going to be able to get it. But anyway, I got off the phone with her, satisfied. I thought, okay, I can someone's going to try to come rescue this bird, I can turn around and go back to the airport. But as I get off the phone with her, I'm looking at this owl as it's climbed up this embankment, and it is staring at me. Not at the headlights, not at the car. It is looking into my eyes. And I had this overwhelming feeling that I was looking at God. Inexplicable feeling that I was looking at God. And it only lasted a few seconds, because that owl, I had that feeling that I was looking at God. And I will tell you what, I had another feeling that it almost seemed like that that owl smirked at me. And you know what? Owls can't smirk. They have beaks, right? But I felt like that owl smirked at me. And in that same instant, it turned and flew off. And it didn't fly off in a way that it was having a hurt wing. It didn't fly off in a way that it faltered even for the tiniest sliver of a second. That thing flew off full power, full grace, not a hesitation anywhere in its movement. And it just took my breath away. I truly believe I saw God. God was that owl, and God was there to slow me down, to delay me, and I'll explain why. So I got back on the road and just still like in shock of everything. And as I came just a little further down the road, I came across a semi, and it was one of those semis hauling 2 trailers at once. And you know, he was cruising. He was definitely cruising. And shortly after that, I came across a or was it before or after? I guess I don't remember the order now. I must have come across the other guy first. No, it was the semi. Shortly after that, I came upon a guy running on the side of the road. Not even 5 in the morning. Pitch black, country road. There is nothing for 20 minutes either direction, and he's out here running on the shoulder with a headlamp. Like I mentioned, I don't do well with lights at night. They can be very disorienting to me, especially something like that you don't see very often. And I just had this overwhelming feeling that I was on a path to encounter those 2 things at the same time. That person running and that semi. And I think it would have been very bad. I think I would have been very confused, and I don't know what would have happened, but I feel like God was here and he saved me. So I just wanted to share with you guys that story, because I'm still kind of in shock and wowed about it, and to be honest, just honored that God saw me as important enough to intervene that day. So, in your day to day, you may see things, see animals, see people who are in your path for a certain reason. You may not even realize it, but it could very well be God intervening in your life. Pretty cool. So I just wanted to share that story of God with you all.